heard something moving through there. For sure, I heard something moving through there. You know, all I saw was like the wolf's eyes peeking over the...
Isolation has a way of turning a quiet trip into a direct confrontation with the unknown. From a hiker unknowingly camping on the site of a recent death, to a forest explorer finding cryptic messages left specifically for him, the line between coincidence and a predator's paper thin. When the silence finally breaks, will you be ready for what's watching? Or is it already too late? After spending hours fishing through the night, two men loaded their gear and climbed into their car, expecting a quiet drive away until the stillness shattered without warning. A sharp, echoing shriek ripped through the dark, seeming to come from every direction at once. Panic set in immediately, yet whatever produced the sound remained concealed among the trees. It could have been an animal disturbed by movement or headlights, but the way the noise surrounded them felt threatening. In the end, they were fortunate it never moved closer, leaving only one question behind what had really been out there with them. On April 22, 2025, a video from Cursed Urban's Randonautica series opens as a standard nighttime exploration, but slowly turns into something far more disturbing. He enters a remote forest alone, using the app to create coordinates based on focused intention. The first destination appears harmless, but over the next 2 nights the experience grows steadily more unsettling. At the start, faint sounds come from the trees and are brushed off as animals. Following the generated point, he reaches a quiet campground where a worn stone wolf statue sits partly concealed behind a tree. Its lifelike eyes catch his flashlight beam, triggering a sudden scare stronger than expected.
I'm sure you can hear the people over there. Definitely out camping, definitely having a good time. That's awesome. Wish I was camping right now. Don't worry, camping video's coming soon. Oh, what the that literally scared the crap out of you. Look at what's back here. Look at this. It's the wolf statue of some sort. Why is this here, dude? I'm ashamed to admit that. I looked over here and all I saw was the wolf's eyes peeking over the tree branch, and it was I'm kind of embarrassed to admit that, but okay, that's really, really odd.
A second intention sends him back through the area where he notices something on a picnic table that was not there before. A small sign covered in strange, unreadable symbols appears deliberately placed. Another unclear message is written on the back in red ink.
Yeah, we'll just head back to the car and set another... Okay, alright. I'm not tripping, am I? There's no way we missed this. There's something on this table. I guess you guys didn't see it. No, I'm sorry. Sorry for stating the obvious. I have this table on camera, and when we walked past here, there wasn't anything on it. Which, I mean, that's kind of halfway true, but that's not the point. What is this thing? So it looks like a little, like a miniature thing like a restaurant would have on the sidewalk listing their hours. PSSZVVUILSU or VU. Maybe one of you guys have some idea what that could possibly mean. Let me know in the comments if you have any idea what that means. That doesn't make any sense. Dude, I'm not even joking, man. And now on our way back, something appears? Come on. Like, why's that dude slowing down? That's weird. How long has this been going? This hasn't been going for that long. So in the time that I walked down there and came back, this was placed here within that time. And don't tell me like it's you know, it's just a coincidence that that's here. Like there's no way. There's another message on the back written in red. So this is, looks like it's supposed to be like maybe a chalkboard. So the front's written in black and the back is written in red. Man, that was a tongue twister for some reason. HSDHFZ AQOL or AOL. I don't know. DHF or Q. Whoever's leaving this stuff, make it more legible. Your handwriting sucks.
By the third attempt, his confidence is fading. Hoping to reset the mood, he follows a new intention down a dim trail. There, a flashlight beam is seen aimed straight at him. When he calls out, the figure slowly turns away. Moments later, it vanishes into the trees.
Yeah, they just turned away from me. Okay. All right, dude. What is it? Okay, I'm gonna leave. That's not. It's like not a normal reaction. It's getting late, and I don't know exactly what time it is, but I know it's getting like towards the time that this place closes. Maybe, you know, like a park ranger saw my lights, but usually that's not the case because they just drive by on their trucks and like yell in the speaker like, "Hey!" But no, that was definitely somebody with a flashlight staring at me, and then I saw them like it was weird. I saw them slowly just turn away. Like they weren't trying to be like subtle about it or anything like that. Like they just slowly turned away like they didn't care. That's weird, dude. That is. And then when I called out, I was like, "Hello." It's like where the trail's starting. You guys have seen. I've been walking down. I haven't even walked far down this trail. And they were definitely right where the trail started. Right here. Hello? Yeah, no one. Yeah, there's no one at all. This is probably the exact spot they were standing. Right here. And then, yeah, because I was right down there. Yes. This is right where they were standing for sure. Because I was like straight down there. Like right there where you see the laser pointer. That's where I was. So it's not like they didn't hear me call out. Because any normal person would like be like, "Oh, good evening," or "Oh, hey, how you doing?" or whatever. Call me crazy, but how much you guys want to bet that person we just saw with the flashlight is the same person display sign at the other point? How much you want to bet? All right, so we definitely have a stalker out here.
The next night, he explores a different forest with a practical purpose. He discovers a portable power bank wedged into a tree. Despite exposure to dirt and rain, it still works. Using the phrase "red skies at night," the following location leads him to a narrow bridge over a stream. Beneath it, he finds a small wooden structure shaped like a house or tower, marked with a message saying it will not offer protection, along with an arrow pointing to a weak spot. He begins to suspect the same person is responsible for both incidents.
Set it up here. It's like oh, dude, of course. It looks like a toothpick holder or something. What's it say on there? Come on, focus on it, camera. There we go. Valdiva, Chile. And here, once again, dude, we've been dealing with this. So, those of you who may be new here, for some reason, dude, I've been getting a bunch of, like, these arrows pointing to windows and, like, cryptic messages on it. I don't understand why, but here's another one. Your tower won't save you, and it's got an arrow. What does that mean? What tower do I have that I would think would save me anyways? That doesn't make any sense at all. This is the stupidest intent I've ever...
While returning to his car, he sets a final intention. At that spot, he finds another small wooden boat the third encountered during his Randonautica trips. Carved into it is a disturbing phrase and a number etched on top. The repeated discovery of these handmade objects suggests someone is deliberately placing them along his route.
Next, what's this? It's another one of those boats, dude. This is the third one I've gotten. I'm getting back to the main trail before we look at this thing. So I'm gonna get back to the main trail. And actually I'm gonna start heading back towards my car. This is another one of those boats. I got 2 of these so far, little wooden boat models. And they keep having things written on them. I just heard something moving through there. For sure, I heard something moving through there. Yeah, so it's these weird boats, like I was saying. I was gonna start walking this way, and then yeah, I'll show you guys. So here, let me get around this mud first, then I'll shut it off so you can actually see. All right, so this boat, and yeah, there's something written on it, just like the other 2. What? First to jump, last to drown. Oh, that's new. On the top is written what's that mean? First to jump, last to drown, then a 7 on the top. Third one we found, and they've all had like, so I don't know, kind of odd. Well, more than kind of odd, very odd. I really don't know what to think of that. All right, we're gonna set our last intent because I'm done after this. So we're gonna set our last intent, and I'm only gonna take the intent if it's that way. And if it's not, I'll run another one until we get one in the direction of my car.
As he prepares to leave, he reaches a last location near the picnic shelter where the night began. At first, the area seems empty. Under a table, however, he finds a wooden box holding a small plastic pill container with a note inviting him to go down the rabbit hole. Seeing it as a possible danger, he decides not to open it, locks his car, and leaves the area.
So why am I out here? Why was this the final point? Hi? Yeah, why was this the final point? It doesn't make any sense. I don't think I missed anything, right? I mean, I didn't flip over every table or whatever, but I don't think I missed anything. It reminds me of the time, that grill. That reminds me of the time, one of our older Randonauticas, we found a grill. We found like some leftover burgers and hot dogs and brats. I don't remember exactly what was on it, but it doesn't matter. Max went up and ate one of the brats. That was funny. There's something under the table. Nothing. I saw tape and I was like, oh, maybe something's taped under there on the grill tonight. Okay. There is something that I almost missed, and that's a wooden box. Let's bring it here to the light. Sure want to bet we're going to find something inside. What is this? It's a pill with a message. Down the rabbit hole, try me. Yeah, the top says down the rabbit hole and try me by the pill. It's soft. Looks like one that would be pretty easy to take apart and put back together. So I wonder if they empty this out and put something else in it, because it definitely looks like one that would easily come apart. Dude, I don't know. I don't like that. Especially when I got finale. I'm not going to open. So it said something's engraved on it that I can't really read. This is honestly one of the craziest intents that we have ever got. I don't think we've ever gotten something quite like this, where you get an actual pill saying down the rabbit hole, try me. Yeah. All right, I'm going to pack this stuff up and get out of here.
Randonautica can guide users into isolated locations where coincidence feels deliberate. Objects may already be there, but fear fills in the gaps. Did the app uncover something real, or did it shape how the situation was interpreted? This unsettling clip comes from Den Fisken, a Swedish TikTok creator who frequently posts videos from his work in the forestry field. Most of his content features routine logging tasks, often using heavy machinery deep inside isolated forests. Yet, from time to time, something much more disturbing emerges. On January 23, 2024, Den Fisken walks alone into a silent forest at night. As he gets ready to start his chainsaw for what appears to be normal work, the environment stays completely quiet. Suddenly, a frightening sound slices through the silence, abruptly ending the calm. The unexpected noise leaves him visibly shaken. After the video is uploaded, speculation spreads from animals like timber wolves to darker folklore. No clear answers confirmed. Was it fear intensified by isolation, or did the camera capture something truly unknown? On April 22, 2025, the Channel Hiking Movie recorded a solo hike near Warner Springs that began as a simple endurance challenge, but ended as a direct confrontation with death. What appeared to be an ordinary day on the trail slowly became a personal reckoning, with a tragedy that had happened only a few feet from where she slept.
I still don't know this morning about that cross and the trash right there. I don't know that that signifies that something terrible happened in this exact spot. There's my tent site. Heading out early. Most everybody else is still in their tents. I'm slow, so they'll catch me.
After a night outdoors, the host uncovered a shocking truth. The very place where she set up her tent was where a hiker named Michael had died just hours earlier. Disturbed by the timing, she shared quiet and emotional tributes. But along the trail, signs of danger are not always human.
Trail magic?
Welcome to the water.
No water, no trail. Oh, okay. Water's magic here, too.
Yeah, and it's cold.
Yeah, all right, super thick. And then when you get to it, it's like super juicy. Oh, so juicy. So good. Juicy and sticky.
It's probably only noon. I think we've got 3 miles or 4 miles to the campsite. We're hiking a little bit faster, but we can't do too much. So get an overuse injury. This is a nice change. It's getting warm. I think it's still around like 72 or something like that. But we're back out in the desert. Feels a lot hotter than it is. I don't know how the people do it that come in here later in the year when it's like 100 degrees. Can you see him down there? There's Fred. And there's Detour. Just barely see him. That's way too big to be coyote scat. Probably mountain lion. It's got hair and stuff in it. I've seen a lot of it, actually. I found a little shade, so I'm relaxing in the shade right now. Before I cross that open field, my feet are killing me today. They are really sore. I've done too many miles, I think. So 14 today. And then we're going to Warner Springs because I think we'll only have about 5 miles to get into Warner Springs.
As she continued on, she encountered a frightening trace of another presence. Fresh scat from a large animal lay in the middle of the path, packed with visible fur, a clear sign of a mountain lion moving through the same area. Beyond unseen predators, the desert itself became a constant threat.
Somebody died yesterday at our campsite, a thru hiker named Michael, and he died in his sleep, I guess yesterday morning before we got there. Very sad, but he died doing, what he wanted to do and went in to sleep peacefully, they think. Of course, they haven't done an autopsy or anything. The helicopter came and took him before I got there to the camp last night. That we're camping there last night. Nobody told me last night because I put my tent up in his campsite and they decided not to tell me so that I could sleep. I wondered why there was a cross right across from that tent site and why such a good tent site hadn't been picked. And then there was a bunch of trash a little ways away. Water bottles, peanut butter, jar. Looked like somebody just dumped out their trash. That's just so weird. And everybody was kind of calm and quiet until today. Fred fessed up today. They thought I would sleep better if I didn't know, but I could have picked a different campsite. So rest in peace, Michael. Sorry I took your campsite. It was a good one. Check it out. There is water. I'm not to the campsite yet, but I'm sure this is the stream. Soaking my feet, hoping the cold, very cold water works some miracles here. And everyone decided to go on into town another 4 miles. don't think my feet have another 4 miles in them. That's a total of 18 for today. But I think if I sit here for a while and soak my feet, maybe it'll numb them enough because the water's so cold that I'll be able to hike.
She spent the afternoon crossing open cattle fields beneath a harsh sun, with temperatures rising above 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Each mile turned into a struggle as the intense heat and long distance left her feet in severe pain. When a campsite becomes both a place of death and a place of rest within hours, the land itself seems changed. Viewers remain divided. Was the hiker's silence an act of care or a troubling failure to warn? On June 5, 2019, the YouTube channel The Wandering Woodsman recorded a lone hike through the forests of southern Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Known for seeking out forgotten natural and historic places, the host set off to find a nearly 300-year-old burial site, concealed near the Susquehanna River. With no precise coordinates and only bits of guidance, the trip unfolded in quiet steps toward a location that seemed abandoned by time itself.
Still following this trail. Don't know if the cemetery is up here or not. And just as I was beginning to lose hope, guess what I see poking out of the ground up here? Tombstones. Anyway, my mind is wandering. Anyway, but up here, yeah, here we go. This is it. Awesome. Wow. This is what exploring is all about. Finding this out here. This old forgotten cemetery. Wow. I'm gonna sit down and take a little bit of a break first before we look around. I'm gonna sit and take a break among the dead. Pretty sure it does, actually. Anyway, I'll get back to you. I'm gonna sit down, relax a little bit, and then we'll take a good look at some of these and talk about dates and stuff. Sitting among the dead out here, taking a break. But like I said, there are a number of trails leading to this cemetery, besides the one that I came on. Of course, one problem with these old Pennsylvania graveyards is that they're in German, Pennsylvania German, but the name there is Barbara Good. That means born. 1777. She died in 1821. 1777. Look at some of these. Here's a Peter Warfel, something like that. Let's see, 1778 to 1803. So he lived terribly long. We won't look at every single tombstone. We'll just get a feel for some of them. Elizabeth Warfel, that name, Warfel or something like that. 1816. Right. So here's a David Eshelman, 1799. I should mention, I don't think I mentioned the name of this cemetery. This is called the Benedict Eshelman Cemetery. Benedict Eshelman. So you can look up online to find more information about it. Johannes Good, 1752 he was born, and he died in 1826. So that's our oldest date so far. That's when he was born, 1752. And you can see some tombstones here that are in a different style than the others. These are harder to make out, the dates and stuff, pretty worn up. I think I see a 1776 down there. Not sure if that's when he died or that's when he was born, because it looks like there's a date up there. Anyway, might be a date down there too. Anyway, some of these are a little hard to read. That's the way it is.
The ground of the forest hides a striking secret, signaled only by worn stones rising like dark silhouettes from the soil. Among graves from the 1800s rest unmarked rocks, unknown settlers from the 1720s whose names have vanished through decay. The uneasy stillness of the area comes from realizing that an entire generation now survives only as mute, unnamed stone.
Yeah, see, other ones just scattered around here. So these back here just don't have any markings on them. They're that old. Wow. So the ones in front are the newer ones. So I kind of found this one lone tombstone all by itself off to the side. This one's kind of sad though. In memory of Elizabeth, daughter of Susanna Seabrooks, who departed this life June 10th, 1828. She's only 17 years old. It's pretty young. Well, not as young as some of the others we've seen, but 17, you're just kind of hitting that period in your life where you're starting out. It's lots of memories out here, but they're forgotten. No one remembers her anymore, or even what she looked like or anything.
every lost cemetery holds one story that reaches out from the quiet. The host stops at Elizabeth's headstone, a girl who died in 1828 at only 17. Considering how a once cherished life now remains as a fading inscription with no living witness, he decides to keep the cemetery's location secret, guarding her final resting place from a world that has already moved on. Viewers often observe that the deepest fear is not dying but being erased from memory. As years wear away names and histories, only silence is left unless someone pauses long enough to remember. When even gravestones disappear, is a stranger's brief notice enough to preserve a legacy, or is forgetting the last fate we all share? Deep within the darkness of Brazil's deserted Cemitério da Alagoa, certain legends refuse to remain buried. On August 15th of 2025, the channel Chamos recorded a high-risk expedition into the domain of the Corpo Seco, a cursed figure rejected by both heaven and hell. What started as a normal investigation quickly became a tense game of cat and mouse with an unseen presence that seemed angered by their arrival.
Não bota a luz ainda não. Ô, cara, será que eu achei que... Sabe o que eu achei? Que podia ser a polícia que tá vindo pelo outro lado da trilha. Galera, deixa eu explicar o que aconteceu aqui, mano. E a gente acabou ouvindo um barulho de mato quebrando aqui, alguma coisa correndo aqui, cara. Ou não foi um galho desse que quebrou aqui, será?
Não, foi coisa grande, mano. A ideia é a gente tentar vir de dia aqui, né?
Não, mas eu ouvi muito alto, cara. Todo mundo ouviu, cara.
Tá louco, Jota. É coisa grande. E fazendo aquele som, cara. Parece que a gente se aproximar, o bagulho some, cara.
É. Na nossa frente.
Tá gravando. Duvido que não pegou na câmera. Você não pegou agora? Tá muito alto, cara.
Ó, tá se distanciando, parece.
Tá indo pra lá, ó. Parece que agora, tipo, tava aqui assim, ó, na frente, foi pra lá agora, mano.
Ô, cara, e agora, velho? Ó, nós estamos sendo...
Grande, o facão mesmo, facão cego.
Não tá, cara. O negócio foi lá pra trás, cara.
Pois é, Jota, é aquele negócio, aquele mesmo som que escutou, cara. Mas e faz esse som?
Just as the team was ready to depart, the quiet was ripped apart by harsh snapping sounds and heavy rhythmic footsteps rushing through the brush. Even after the noise died away, an icy feeling lingered, the sense of being watched by something that had simply shifted its position in the darkness.
Olha aqui, tem osso aqui, ó.
Osso?
Olha, tem um osso aqui, eu acho que é osso de galinha.
Será?
Eu acho que é. É, porque de certo fizeram oferenda com galinha. Tá vendo? Tem um monte de osso. Até aqui tem osso, ó. Até aqui tem osso, ó. Tá vendo aqui? Tem mais osso aqui, ó. Tem osso por tudo aqui, ó. Tá vendo? Isso aqui tudo é osso, ó. Aqui, ó. Tudo o resto de coisa aqui, ó. Deixa eu te perguntar. Será, cara, que... Tá? Vamos entender que é um bicho. Existe a possibilidade das pessoas estarem vindo aqui e entregando oferenda, animais para essa coisa se alimentar?
Ou esse negócio tá matando o bicho e trazendo pra cá pra comer. Matando outro lugar e trazendo pra cá. Aqui é um terreno que em 1800 eles montaram um cemitério aqui. Foi criado um cemitério aqui nesse local. Conhecido aqui, as pessoas traziam caixão, bateram em barco, em canoa, para fazer um enterro aqui. Os pescadores enterravam corpos aqui. É um dos primeiros, é o primeiro cemitério da cidade. Cara, o negócio tá longe, tá? Porque ela só parou, barulho, tu deu um ruído aqui agora, mas eu não sei, pode ser que só qualquer ruído aqui, qualquer barulho que ela já se assusta, velho. Que isso? Foi vocês? É mesmo, Jota? Tá aqui no braço?
Isso que eu me assustei, cara.
Ó, peraí. Cara, a gente vai ter que fazer o seguinte, rapaziada. A gente vai botar aqui umas 2, 3, no máximo 4 câmeras em pontos diferentes e deixar gravando. E vão ter que ficar lá no carro aguardando.
Disregarding their fear, the group reached a clearing of flattened grass scattered with remains. In a cursed forest, every discovery feels like a warning carved in bone. While they talked about the cemetery's past, sudden movement burst out behind them. One member flinched, saying something cold brushed his arm. Despite their lights, the camera showed only empty space, proving that whatever followed them did not need to be seen to be felt. When fear gives life to a legend, the boundary between myth and reality fades. Viewers' question is the corpo seco, a mental shadow, or a real predator. If you already believe you are being hunted, can you ever trust your senses again?
That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.